All right, good morning. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to do a extension of solving square roots with our variables. So, just a small review here. We talked the other day about the square root of n squared, and really all you're essentially doing is you're asking yourself what's times itself is n squared, and it's going to be n. The square root of n to the fourth, what number times itself is 4? That's going to be n squared right there. If I had the square root of y to the fourth, well, what number times itself is going to be y to the fourth? Y squared. Because after all, y squared times y squared is y to the fourth. Okay? So that being said, we're going to have a very similar philosophy to it, except we're going to change it. Because that whole thought process really essentially works for the squares into the fourths. But when you start to get to numbers like n to the sixth, it's a bit different. But there's a very similar concept that we talked about earlier in the year. So I have the square root of n to the sixth. Now, essentially, I'm asking myself the exact same question of what number times itself is this. Only what we have to remember is that when you multiply exponents, you're actually adding them. So essentially here, the square root of n to the sixth is a very similar thing to be n cubed times n cubed. Because after all, n cubed times n cubed is n to the sixth. So essentially, what we can do is we can ask ourselves, what number is half? And friends, what number is half of 6? 3. So, the square root of n to the sixth is n cubed. Exact same process. The square root of x to the eighth. Well, what number is half of 8? It's 4. So it's x to the fourth. What is the square root of y to the power of 10? Well, what's half of 10? That's going to be 5. So it's y to the fifth. So all we're really doing today is we're doing an extension of this, because you could say, well, what is half of 2? 1. What is half of 4? Is going to be y to the fourth is going to be y squared. So it's just an extension of that process. And we're sticking just primarily for our assignments to just our even numbers, but it will change just a tad bit. So if we can just grasp our process here, where for all of our problems today, all we're looking at is what number is half of my exponents, and that's going to be your answer. Okay, all right, so your assignment for this Friday is going to be to go ahead and check this out. I'm going to look to have us do a Zoom on Tuesday, and then we'll pick up on Wednesday with a review of this, and then Thursday we'll probably add a couple of odd numbers to it. All right, my friends, hope you guys are doing great and wonderful, and look for that Zoom announcement here on probably on a link today. All right, thanks guys and girls, have a good day. Bye.